Oh my goodness. Hey everybody. I'm going to be making this long story short somehow. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I have had another miscarriage. It's crazy to think that here we are again, like a year later. I mean, literally down to almost the exact date. Like, this is really insane to me. My last video was of our trip down to the Bahamas, right? Well, when I posted that, I already found out that I was pregnant, and I was working on getting a video to you guys because one of the things here on my YouTube channel is that I wanted to be as transparent as possible for all of you watching and take you along with me on the journey. Unfortunately, due to some family dynamics, I'll just put it that way, I was trying to respect the parents of some of the young children that we have in our family that do watch my videos, and doing our best to protect them and their hearts. So I chose to respect them for that and not post a single vlog video now for the past 3 months. This is also why it's important to follow me on Instagram, because I post everything that's been happening directly to there. So if you would like, you can follow me now. That's at Christina May Blog. Okay, so you can head over there and follow me there. So I'm gonna answer the big question, what happened? We got pregnant in November, again, down to like the exact date. So our due date again was going to be in August. I was excited that I was pregnant again, but at the same time, that fear, like that overbearing fear, just like held me back, you know? I had doctor's appointments like almost every week. It was kind of like every other week because I was having issues. So I would go in for an ultrasound, and then everything was fine. Like, we had a heartbeat, by the way, at 6.5 weeks. Baby at that point measured 6 weeks, 2 days, so everything looked great. And then it was maybe almost 2 weeks later, I woke up on the day that I turned 9 weeks, and I was like, I don't feel pregnant. I just don't feel pregnant at all. I had actually been having more symptoms this time around. Well, I was having like the same cramping that I had last time, very mild things. It just felt like something like pulling, you know, kind of like that stretchy feel, among other things. But I actually started having symptoms, not of morning sickness, but I was having like more stomach weakness. It kind of felt like a queasy stomach, and the only time that it actually felt better was when I was eating. So I was actually starting to have symptoms, and then 2 days before my 9-week point, I started having less and less of that. And then when I woke up at 9 weeks, I was like, I don't feel pregnant at all. Like, I have no symptoms whatsoever. Things have kind of like just diminished. But I let that go. I thought, you know, well, if I'm gonna miscarry, like, it's gonna happen anyway, regardless of me having symptoms or not. So I just kind of had to let that feeling go and just say, basically, like, trust God's plan is basically what I had to do. And ignoring really my feelings, because I know that you can have a perfectly normal pregnancy with symptoms that come and go, and it's like a roller coaster ride, you know? It's just, so I tried not to focus too much on that. However, at that point, I had actually been spotting for about 5 weeks. Literally never stopped. It was like spotting every day. And I started feeling uncomfortable about the fact that I had not had a RhoGAM shot yet. So I called the doctor's office that Tuesday, and I said, I'm a little bit concerned that I haven't had the RhoGAM shot yet, and I'm still having spotting. And so she called me back, the nurse called me back and said, yeah, your doctor thinks that you should go ahead and get the RhoGAM shot, but he actually wants you to come in first thing tomorrow morning for an ultrasound, just to make sure everything's okay because of your history and because of the fact that you've been spotting now for 5 weeks. We're gonna need to check that out. So the nurse starts to do the ultrasound, and as soon as I looked over, I realized that the baby measured like 8 weeks and 5 days, and I knew at that point baby should have been measuring much further along than that, and there was no flicker, so I knew instantly that there was no longer a heartbeat. And so she called the doctor in, and he did an internal scan, and which confirmed exactly what I already knew. So baby stopped measuring at 8.5 weeks. This is the exact same thing that happened last time, like to the T, the exact same thing. So my doctor said, well, since you've had 2 miscarriages, normally they wouldn't test you for anything at 2 miscarriages, but because of the fact that I have had 2, both at 8.5 weeks, he thinks that there is some kind of issue. He thinks might be actually a simple fix. He thinks that it could be a blood clotting situation. I know that it's pretty common. All that calls for, if I do have this gene, is that just means that I need to take a baby aspirin, like when we're trying to get pregnant, like right before, you know, before I get pregnant. It could even mean that I need like a shot of this stuff called Lovenox, something like that. But I don't know yet. I don't have any of those details. So yeah, I finally miscarried on my own on January 27th, which was exactly a week from my miscarriage the year before. So like basically around the 1-year anniversary of that. And it was pretty awful, to be honest. When I saw my doctor at my last appointment, I said, I don't think that I can physically go through that again. I don't think that I can. So we better figure this out so it doesn't have to happen again, because I can't do it. But so yesterday I had my HCG levels checked to see if we are at 0, and we're not. We are at 6, but we are close to 0. So he went ahead and confirmed that as a negative test. So I am negative, just not at 0 yet. And I've been trying to find information, like maybe you can help me out with this. Why am I holding this pen? Does your HCG have to be at 0 in order to ovulate? I have heard so many mixed answers on that. Some people say no, some people say yes. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just kind of waiting for things to happen again, and I'm at 6. So the doctor's office is supposed to call me today to let me, So they're supposed to call me today to let me know when I need to go in for the blood test to see if I have the gene factor V latent. I found out that my cousin actually has it, and she had to take baby aspirin. She had 2 miscarriages, had to take baby aspirin, and she's also Rh negative, and she had to take the RhoGAM shot really early on, otherwise she would have lost the pregnancy that she actually had the baby, if that makes any sense. So I'm curious to see if I have it too. It could be a family thing, and if that's the case, then at least now we know. So I'm waiting to find out if I need, or when I need to get that done, and yeah. Also, I took a break from Instagram for a couple of weeks, and the reason being is because, this is gonna sound really bad, I did not want to see any pictures of people with their pregnancy announcements or pregnancy update pictures or baby announcements. And the reason being is because I feel like after a loss, your main objective is to focus on you getting better, you and your spouse. Like, I was trying to focus as much time and energy on us as much as I was on myself with moving forward and getting past each stage. Seeing pictures of people's progression, seeing pictures of babies being born can kind of distract you from moving on. And I think that it can create a bitterness or resentment towards other people who are having a better time than you. So I just decided that I was gonna take a break and not even look at anything. I did get some people that messaged me wondering how I was doing, so I went on there for that. But other than that, I've hardly spent any time on there because I just didn't want to distract myself. I just wanted to be able to move forward without all the distraction. I don't want jealousy or bitterness or resentment to build up in my heart. I rejoice with everybody who has been gifted a life. I think that it's absolutely beautiful and a precious time. But for me and moving forward, I needed to kind of just get away from that for a little bit. Kind of just focus on me, focus on Ryan, focus on each other, you know, and just moving forward. So that is why I took a break from Instagram, in case anybody was wondering. So yeah, I just thought that I would come on here and make a video just to update you guys, and I'm gonna go back into vlogging. I promise I will have at least one video a week, hopefully. And I'm hoping that next week I will be getting results from the blood test, so I will definitely be making a video about that. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you'd like, and you can also follow me on Instagram. That's @ChristinaMayBlog. Bye.